matchups on Saturday?
Oh, our locals have a lot of back row stuff.
Yeah.
So I played Sky Striker Control, Tenny Control. I played against one Altergeist player. I played Trap Tricks, Eldelich, and like how many? 2 Eldritch variants,
Yes.
and then two Dogmatica. A lot of stuff just not liking extra deck stuff, but I mean, with this build, it's not that hard to get over boards.
You made it through?
Oh yeah, the hardest one for me was definitely, shout out to Joseph. He played that. You
Combo Wombo.
Yeah, the Wombo combo VFD nonsense. Yeah, he was a hard one. He was a hard one, but I prevailed over it. But I mean, yeah, the deck just has a lot of outs to so many different decks. Kind of sad that these guys haven't topped a whole lot.
All right, man. Well, show us the spice, man. What's going on?
So we obviously play Triple Researcher, best card in the entire deck. Like this card, there's so many cards that you can use to bait out your opponent, and then this is normally your last resort to like, oh man, he stopped everything. Then you hit him with that, they're like, all right, scoop. Just because the second that you get this off, it's pretty much like over.
All right.
Very good. Of course, you got to play the Triple Seeker. You special summon him when you got Adamancipator. Either it's going to be the Researcher or the other boy, the green boy. So 3 of those, and then of course 3. I love seeing this card. I love seeing this dude.
Tell us why.
Just because your opponent dice rolls, everyone wants to go first. I summon this out first, and people go, all right, I got to stop that. So they always instantly try to smack it, and they waste resources on it, and he's level 4, so he can easily go into that Rock Exceed guy.
Yeah.
And so you bait him out with this, and you still haven't committed a normal summon.
Okay.
So you can normal summon, and just a lot of plays that you can do with the Exceed with it, you can link with it, you can Synchro with it. There's a lot. This card does so much. And he doesn't waste your normal summon, which I love. So 3 of him. Then you play the Kawaki engine.
And that is it for your Adamancipator.
For Adamancipator, yeah.
Okay.
You don't play the little fossils, they're trash.
Okay. They're trash.
Then it's only in here because I didn't have the space for another card in here, but he could be good. Like this stops Sky Strikers.
Okay.
Because you normal summon this, and then you think they think they can get over your board with like your negates, but they can't do anything to negate, summon, and pop, because then they waste on that. This card's good. It's come in clutch with a couple matches. They try to do Golden Boy or do the Dogmaticus. This stops the summon, so I think it's really good.
Okay.
That one. And then this dude, he's so underrated. I love this card so much. Any rock sent to the graveyard, you just summon this fool. And he searches for any Kawaki. You can go for the other green boy, or you can go for the best one, Guardian. But he extends plays. He's level 4, and he can just add other cards for you to do discard effects for, or whatever. Like, this card is nuts. I love this card. And then with this, you search. Guardian's he's the best one. He's so good. So many times when they play like what is it? The window, they're gonna be one something like that, and I'm just like, okay, summon beat over something. I'm like, okay, beat over it. This card is really good, and so many times. There's another fun fact: the Kawakis, they make you reveal a rock at the end of your turn.
Okay.
So you can. You have to, or it gets popped.
Yeah.
So many times, won me a match where they get afraid because then I reveal Nibiru, and they don't even try comboing. They're like, nah, I know this boy. Yeah. So they never go for it. So that's the thing that you gotta keep in mind. You have Nibiru, you just show it for like, oh, effect. You're like, effect. I have to reveal a rock, and they're expecting like something like you don't play them like Nibiru. I'm like, they didn't even try like comboing because they know you have it. I love Kawaki so much. That's gonna be the next day. Kawaki Pure. This dude. I love this fool.
Okay.
I love him so much. This guy, when he's sent to grave by card effects, you do it with like the Foolish Burial, or you send him with other spells, or whatever cards you have to send for cost or whatever. If this card is sent to grave by card effect, he searches for any of the fossil cards. This card is amazing, and he's 2,000. This fool is 2,000.
Normal summon. 2,000 normal summon.
No summon and get over so many cards are like Inspector Board, like summon attack. And then I get the effect for Fossil Fusion, and they like scoop. There's not much they can do. Come like banish that, banish this, get a monster you can't target, but he's amazing.
Weathering Soul at 3?
Yeah, level 4 and 2,000 attack. Amazing. I love him so much. Course, Doki Doki. Discard a rock, summon a rock, same level. He's a good beta also. You can do this. Send Weathering Search. It's really good. 3 of this little guy. We do the 2 of the new guy, Keystone.
Okay.
He's really good. A lot of the cards in here get banished for like Block Dragon, the Fossil Fusion. Most of the Fossil Fusion cards banish themselves for effects. So this is a free summon to special. Return that. Then when he's engraved, you banish him again, and you add this back to your hand for next turn. He sets you up for plays. He's only extender for link plays. I only use it for link plays.
Okay.
So I'll use it to like summon with an IP, and then I use it with IP, or I use it for an Appaloosa. Like this is just it's just an extra like body for link materials.
So 2 is good.
Yeah, you don't. Sometimes I bring it down to 1 because if they DD Crow it, I'm like, okay, I'll get it back anyway, so it doesn't really hurt. But it's good at 2. Let's think about bumping it down.
Okay.
Extenders.
Gigantus
level 4.
Gigantus.
So they Ash the researcher, or not researcher, what's his name? Analyzer,
yep.
or anything like that. And then like, okay, summon Gigan. Like this is really good.
So 2 is okay with him as well.
Yeah. One time it gave me clutch because I summoned a defense mode because I don't have defense. The Chapchick player attacked into it, and he thought he'd go for a game with his back row because I had nothing, and it pops back row. It's destroyed. Wow. So I wiped his whole board. So this, I mean, you never do that.
Yeah.
You never do that. But
It
the one
comes
time,
there,
one time, it helped.
It helps you out.
He got so mad afterwards.
Shout out to James.
Shout out to James for getting
mad.
board wiped, and then Nibiru. I play the guy at 1. A lot of people play multiples. I play it at 1 because you run the Foolish Burial card. So if you have 1 Adamancipator, you Foolish Burial this, you do that Emancipator effect, and then they're like, oh, Ash or whatever to stop that effect. This card can special summon itself if you got a rock on your board, minimum of 1. Of course, you're going to have the tuner. So you summon it, and that's a 1 card. That's a needle fiber. Or that Synchro. It could be anything. This card at 1, I think is good. Okay. You don't need more than 1. I've drawn this, and I'm like, you never want to see this. Then this people hate me on this. I run Power Giant. I like this card.
Ulti?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh,
Flexing.
that's one of the paper things. I like this card because you can send any rock to the grave and special summon themselves, making themselves lower that level. So you can send the level 2 to level 3 and it becomes that level. It's just meant to extend, and he's level 6. You can do Block Dragon to search for this and add Emancipator Researcher. So you can send another rock, summon this at level 2, and then special summon the Researcher, and that could be a Synchro summon for something else, or it could be a Herald, it could be whatever. I like this card at 1.
Alright.
This card's good. I play this. I don't even know why I have this. I never get this off. Like I can't even summon it with rocks or nothing. I mean, it's if I get them, oh dang, all right. It's a free special.
First turn, yeah.
Normally it never resolves. But like the one time I do, it's like a level 4 exceed. If it's
So would you say this was the worst card in the locals?
This?
Yeah. No.
Close. I mean, it's good. I'd rather get rid of this for another of this. Dude,
okay.
I love this boy. I've had him since the original sets back in 5D. This card's really good. You banish a tuner to summon this, and it's a rock. That's dumb. Like, I love this. This card is really good. I only play 1. I play the 2 to dump this, but I didn't. But this card's good, and it's level 2, so you can do, like, Researcher, Seeker, and another level 2 like Doki and this. That's 4 cards at level 8 for Block Dragon. Or you could do Gigantus, this, and Researcher. That's a level, like, there's so many you can do with this level 2. This guy's, I'd bump this down for this. Gate blocker.
Yep.
Listen, y'all talk smack, but this card won me so many matches. They like Mystic Mine. I'm like, gate blocker.
What's it do?
And it gives the effects of field spells.
Oh, that's good.
So they're like Mystic Mine. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna win now. And then this, they actually came in clutch against what is it called, Spellcaster or Pendulum.
Okay.
They can't do spell counters.
Yeah.
They can do spell counters, so I just play this, and then they can't target any of your cards except this. And then I was like, oh, this card's really good, and it's a level 4 rock. I'd add another one of this. Anything to replace her. I would add this or this. It's really good. This I like this guy. And of course,
yes, 2 Block Dragons. Why not 3?
you just brick.
Okay.
2's nice. They're normally cold blade, and I'm like, oh well.
Okay.
And then I have one for next turn.
Okay.
Or in the follow play, whatever. But I like it at 2. At 1, I mean, I should practice one. I'm about to get hit this boy. I should play it at 1 and get ready for it.
Would you feel like the consistency will be a little bit slower if it's at 1?
No.
No, you still
No.
You feel like it'll still.
You can
up?
you can search it. Like you can search for it. If they ban this, oh yeah, this deck would like slow down a lot. But if it's at 1, most of the time when I played, I only ever did one. I've never done two. And people, why don't you do Dingirsu? Why would I do that? Get rid of this for Dingirsu. Okay. This card protects me from everything. This helped me beat Sky Strikers. Okay. Because they can't pop your cards unless it's by battle. This card's really good, and there's not many cards that get over him. Yeah, and then if he sent to grave, so they waste everything on him. I'm like, okay, search for 3 rocks, and they're like, all right, now you got a whole full play for next turn. So this, I played rocks, and I'd say this has to get hit. Yeah. I say this has to get hit.
Not researcher.
Nah, keep her. Get rid of it.
At least make the deck play him.
Yeah, this card's good.
Don't kill it right away.
Hit the Madolce card. Then, of course.
You're
playing rocks.
Yeah.
People joke around when they do combos like Nibiru. I'm like, okay, it's a rock, so I'm going to keep going and do combos and pop the token.
Yes.
This card does so much. And like I said, I reveal it for Kawaki, and the Kawaki's scared people. I played against the 10E control, and he started linking, and then he remembered that, I have the 10. She ended on like a 3,000 beat stick, and I ran over it with Savage or whatever, one of the fossil cards. This scares people.
It does, revealing it and letting them know what.
Yeah, like I have this. In case you get over this, like 6 negates, I have this.
Even without Kawaki's effect, I have it.
I'll show it to you. I have this. So this card's really good. This card's amazing. That's how I beat Trap Trick. Shout out to James. Scooped round 2. And spells. Yeah, I play spells. People hate on it because they're like, they get mad because they think they stop all my plays, and I'm like, I play a lot of spells.
Yeah. Okay.
So we play Time Stream. I'll do the 1-ups. Time Stream is just a fossil card to search off of with Weathering Soldier.
Yep.
What it does is it levels up a fossil to a bigger boy, and then you have a fossil engraved. So the fossils have effects to banish, to like add, to pop, to do whatever. This card helps you that. I side this out for other stuff I have. But most of the time, I'll go for the little fossils. When they like hand trap me, I'll banish one of my cards and one of their cards, summon that fossil, play this, level it up, and now I have the Skull Knight or whatever. And he does 2 attacks, piercing, and he pops cards. Okay. So this card's pretty good. I like this. 1 triple tactics. Okay. I never see this enough for me to like to do it. Okay. It's come in handy sometimes where they feel they get all happy about it, and they're like, Ash, I'm like, okay, play this, and then I'm like, I like that imprint, put that back in your deck. It's like there's so much, like this card's really good.
So you use the hand reveal effect
more than anything. Okay. The drawing doesn't really do much because I could do Block Dragon and search 3 anyway. Yeah. Now I don't play traps, so why would I draw more? Facts. And I go first. I always go first. Like they don't really have anything. This is just meant like now they have to deal with 5 negates plus Block Dragon, and you have 3 cards in your hand. Yes. Like how do you get over that? This card's nuts. So many people hate this card because this was the worst secret in the new set. But this card's good, man. It's a +5 regardless. You always search for 5 rocks and add any. I only ever do this if it's last resort or if it's the last of my combos. Okay. If I already have like a Savage or Uploose or whatever on board, I play this just so I can summon Dragite.
Oh, I see.
That's the only reason it's in here, is to continue plays or to set up for next turn. Okay. So people know like, okay, he has a researcher, so I got to think about next turn if he gets over the board. This card's good and it's searchable with the red Synchro, the rock thing. Yep. So this card, I like this at 1. Okay. I like this. The Foolish Burial. Ah, okay. Miracle Rapture. Yeah. So there's a lot of control decks here. A lot of control decks. Yeah. Shout out to James again. So that dude plays nothing but back row, and a lot of people do the Eldritch Control, Dogmatic, man, play something fun. And so I like this because, like I said, if I do my rocks and they hand trap 6 times in their turn and whatever, they hand trap me a lot. You play this and you send that 1 level rock 3 fool. I don't know where he's at, but he's the one that special summons himself because this guy. Oh, okay. You play it to send this, and then he's a thing in the grave, so now you can special summon it for free because you control a rock, and you can use it to summon Needle Fiber. Okay. Or whatever, Synchro summon, whatever. That's why this is here. And this card is good to send like your Adamancipator cards. It can send any of those. It can send Weathering Soldier. He's the main one because he searches for the fusion spell. Yeah. But you send these, and then if you control this other card that I have here, Monster Reborn for rocks. Ah. So I can send that and then use this, and now I have plays. Okay. Because now I can special summon the Adamancipator, and then what this does is if I summon Adamancipator, I can put a rock on top of my deck. Yeah. I choose whatever I want. Or I could put like Doki, put Doki, search. Oh, look at Doki. summon it,
Summon it, yep.
and there you go. Now I have that. Or I can search for that rock Kawaki, the one that searches.
Yeah.
Summon it, search, add guardian, normal summon guardian. Now I have a monster negate, and then I have combo.
Nice.
So this card's it's not once per turn. This card's stupid.
Nutty.
And it's searchable off that rock synchro again. This card's really good. Called by, hand traps. We hate hand traps.
Everyone hates hand traps.
But in our locals, I haven't really used this a whole lot. Because everything's back row. Everything's nothing but traps. So I swapped these out for like storms or something like that make me go second. Or cosmic cyclones. Because it's always back row. The hand traps, I can get over hand traps. But it's kind of annoying sometimes when they hit you with 3 of them. Shout out to Tony. Hit me with Effect Veiler, Ash, and Perm. And what's the name of the other one? Ghost Chill? Who has all 4 of them in your hand? But
Damn.
yeah,
Still played through it?
I still played through it. But like this, it depends on where you're at. But this card's always been good. And of course, the card that clutches everything, Fossil Fusion. This card is really, really, really good. I've got so many times where people play Winda on me. So many times. They play Winda and there's something like Mecha or something. They're like, oh, get over it. I'm like, okay, Fossil Fusion. I'll fuse one of my rocks and
one of their monsters.
Yeah. And I'll summon the big boys. I'm like, attack for 25.
Yeah.
Attack again for 25. It's like,
They don't expect the second attack.
no,
yeah,
no
most
one
of the
ever
time.
expects that.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, he's gonna go over the window. I'm like, attack Mecha.
Yeah.
Like, no one ever expects it, and they let this go. They always let it go because they're expecting me to play like a researcher in my hand, so they save the negate. I play this, no, yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And I played a lot of Eldritch Dogmatica, and them boys are big.
Yeah.
Florida is level 8, Eldritch is level 10, and I can tell you how many times people get mad when I fuse a Doki Doki level 2 and the Eldritch Golden Boy. It's like $130 with a $5 card, and they scoop because now they have no target for Golden Boy. I get rid of that, and I summon the big fossils, and the fossils can't be targeted by monster effects if you use a card in their graveyard. So they can't hand trap it, they can't target it, they can't do anything, and they're big, and they're like 2,800 and more, and they attack twice. This card saved me so many times to get over Winda. There can only be one. Okay, someone big 35 beat stick and start running you over. The Sky Striker couldn't do anything, but this card's really good. And when monster's destroyed, you add this back. If they destroy a fossil, you add this back to your hand, and then you have a target for next turn, and be like, okay, activate again. Now try to get over the second one. Like, this card is absolutely nuts. Amazing card. And it's not once per turn. To activate it, you can have 2 in your hand and be like, activate, and do it twice. But it is once per turn to add from grave to hand. That's once per turn. But you can play like summon, and no one expects it because now once per turn. So that's my deck. I do run a lot of spells.
That's the spice.
That's the spice.
That's what got you first.
This is what helped me beat Dogmatic Eldritch. He did the typical, like Florida-less and Winda. Yeah, he did like the negates. I'm like, activate this, summon big fossil, attack for 35, and it's. I'll show you. This card's good.
So we got an extra deck now.
Extra deck. Yeah, I play fossils. I play. So I'll show you these first. This card is only an extender. He's a level 4. That's pretty much all it is. You can banish from the grave to add Time Stream. Time Stream levels up a rock.
Okay.
I play this because you banish this, add a Fossil Fusion. That's pretty much it. Level 4 extender. And then the best one. This guy, yeah, attacks twice. Yeah, Skull Knight, yeah. He attacks twice. He does piercing. He dies. You banish, pop a card.
Yeah.
So this card came in clutch a lot.
Not everyone knows what his second effect is.
No,
you know?
And it's funny because these Dogmatica players be feeling good sending my stuff. They're like, oh, he's gonna send a Needle Fiber. They always think I'm gonna send like a component card, and I'm like, send these guys. I'm like, what is this trash? And I banish it and I summon the big boy. And they're like, oh, that's what that does. They always get caught off guard. Or this. No one expects me to run fossils in this deck, so they expect me to send like my component cards or rocks, not these. And it helps me. They give me targets to banish for Fossil Fusion and get over their board. And then they send their stuff. They send Entis, they send that Ash Dragon. Yep. They send a lot of that stuff over. That's a level 8. Let me just banish that and summon Big Boy. Then the other two. This guy. Skull Knight's good. This card's amazing.
Okay.
He's won me so many matches. This guy attacks twice, does piercing. effect that no one knows. He's an Ice Dragon Prison.
Oh.
During your opponent's turn, you can discard a card and you special summon a monster from their grave.
Yep.
So I was playing Eldritch and he was trying to do the, I don't know what trap it is. One of the traps. One of them special summoned from the grave. I play this, discard, take it. Now they have no target for Golden Boy. Now they have no Golden Boy. Or when I played against Orcus, they try to do their grave effects. I'm like, okay, I'll take that one. Well, they try to do plays, and I'm like, okay, discard, take the Girsu, send your own card to the grave. Now I have Girsu. Like, this card does so much. This card is nuts. I love him. And then the guard that gets me over every board, Skull Geos. That's the targets you're giving of like Maximus, Flordalis. Any big boy, you banish your rock and then one of theirs. Can't be targeted by monster effects, and when he attacks, one does what, 800 defense? So you attack with this, switch its attack and defense, so it's 800 attack. He's 35, so it's 27
Jeez.
times 2.
Yeah.
So you smack it for 54 in one turn. So this card is nuts. What else do I love? They're like, oh, let Jet Synchro or something on the field for like protection, like attacking for 76. This card is nuts. I love this. This card is really clutch. I like him. He's very good. Then of course your typical rocks. I know. Needle Fiber, IP. Unicorn,
okay.
This is your combo
Standard,
starter.
yeah.
Just you've seen where this goes. And no, this card I play. No one really plays it. They play what's the name of that synchro? That Metal Martyr Marcher.
Yeah.
I've never ever used that card.
Yeah, Metal Marcher.
Or even Link Cross. I never do that. I summon this guy.
Instead.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
They make me waste all my negates with Appaloosa, and they think they're all hot because they made me waste all this. And like, okay, I'm gonna get over this board, but they forget about IP, and they always think I'm gonna go for Unicorn.
Or Avermax.
Or not even Avermax.
Just Unicorn.
No,
Okay.
so I side out the Unicorn.
Okay.
I side out the Unicorn for doing a spare thing would be like an Avermax. I swap this out for an Avermax,
Okay.
depending on what I play.
Okay.
But they always think I go for that, and I don't go for him. Never. They made me waste all the materials, and then I'll be like, okay, IP send this, and whatever other. I always keep 2 extra monsters
Either block
for
dragon,
IP. Yeah, for
guardian.
IP target always. So I'll always go like IP, and they're like, oh, okay, you're gonna bounce? Like, no. So I like do all this, summon him, and I'm like, target Appaloosa, plus 4,000 attack. Can't be destroyed by card effects. He's 63, and they can't respond to the power boost.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, now how do I get over this guy? Then it's my turn. I have like 3 links in the grave. I just wipe your board.
Yeah.
Like this. I've used him more than like anything else. Figure Link Cross, you can get hit.
Nutty.
Savage, of course.
Not prismatic though.
Hey, you're right though.
Coming soon.
I'm gonna get the Ghoster. Of course, your typical rocks.
Okay.
Best one, extender, bouncer.
Bounce. Yeah.
This won me a game. That actually got me the first place at locals. Is this guy? I played the sign, special summon a rock, and made me put a rock on top, so I knew I was gonna bounce a card. I flipped one. I said, okay, that's nothing. And then I flipped the rest of my deck. It's all rocks. He's like, all right, Scoop. Yeah. This card is so nuts. And then I had Needle Fiber in the graveyard, so he couldn't respond with like what is it called? Impermanence, because I could use negate it with him.
Oh, okay.
And then the one. A lot of people play 2. I only do the 1. You only ever need the 1. It always leaves for like a IP or a Appaloosa material.
Okay.
It never. It's only there to get Black Dragon.
Okay.
However, I'll sometimes go for Researcher, or depending on what plays I need, if I already have it in hand, I'll go for Researcher, I'll go for whatever.
Yeah.
This card's good.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
All right. 15 total. And what is your side deck? You got a side deck?
Yep, so side deck depends. I mean, this is 15, like my actual side deck, but if I don't use like the main ones up here, these are the other ones.
Okay.
I side another one of this, I side this, and the Avermax.
Okay. You would side on those then?
Yeah, because there's a lot of Dogmaticas now. And they
Yeah,
think they're
so-
hot sending your cards. I'm like, all right, I have stuff to pop your board.
Yeah.
Him, pop boards. I play 2 because, like I said, they would go for the Wyndham Mechaba thing. So then I play this, I'm going to attack both, and he's 2,800. And then Avermax, in case I don't want to go into the Unicorn, I go for this. And they have no outs. Tenny, they scoop to it. Sky Striker, they scoop to it. Can't destroy by card effects, and it can't be targeted, and he beats anything in battle.
Okay.
Like, this card is nuts. Yeah, this card's nuts. I love him. And then for side deck, like I said, if it wasn't for those 3 cards, Dragoons is a card.
Yeah, now it's
a
becoming
card,
thing,
so-
you gotta out it.
I play this. He's the weakest one. It's easier to get over.
Yep.
So I like playing. Yeah, if it's not this, I'll go for Lava Golem.
Yeah. All right, here you go.
But I go for this. It's weak. You can get over it with like anything. You can attack it with one of the fossils, and it's a big boy, so you can banish it for whatever. So this guy's only here for Dragoons or Appaloozas.
Okay.
whatever. This is here. Back rows.
Yeah.
Shout out to James.
Yep. Thank you, James.
Yeah, thank you, James. You're the reason I'm playing this. But this is to counter a lot of decks here. All two guys. I'm tired of it. But this card's good. Board breaker.
Yes. Got to.
You have to like it. You absolutely have to. This card is just amazing to break boards. And then I got a Droplet. This card won me a game. So he was trying to crash his Mechanite to my Appaloosa so he can get over my board. But then I played this and discarded a monster to negate the Mechanite purple.
Yeah.
And he was like, he tried to respond to it, but this card specifies if you discard a card of the same type, you can't activate with it or respond to it. So he crashed into it. Then he lost his purple. And I started Appaloosa, and then he had to go to main phase 2, and that's it. He couldn't really do anything. This card is nuts. This card is absolutely nuts. 2 storms. Broke boys don't have third one.
You'll play the third one if you have the third one?
I would.
Yeah.
I would, 100%.
2's good enough.
Mind control's still really good.
Oh, still good.
Still really good.
Even at 1. I mean, wish it was at 2 or 3, but...
I played against one person that had the Tenny combo, so he did Appaloosa, and he had no Omni negate, so I was like, take your Appaloosa. And I was like, okay. Then Tenny's had effects to banish and grave. I'm like, no, let's not do that. This card's really good. And of course, back row removal.
2 cosmics.
We hate it. And then Prank Top.
The 1 Panks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's at 1.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad. Reboots that row, and we hate back row decks. But that's pretty much the deck.
That's lit, man. Awesome. So, yeah, you got any shout-outs, man?
Shout out to Nerd HQ, having tournaments, letting me be here.
Okay.
Of course, our channel, Dual Kingdom, all our boys. You know, only me and Oscar could only make it, but we're here. At least we finally topped. We won.
We'll have more coming on Saturday.
Konami sponsor us.
Please.
Or hook us up with some cards. If you're trying to help out your boy with the Lightning Storm, let me know. Besides that, I mean,
Yeah, awesome.
that's pretty much it.
Awesome. First place, Adamancipator Fossils. Alrighty, well, that is it, y'all. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Peace out.
Thank you.